In today's email of the day, I have a few points that I hope can benefit you in your life. First of all, the idea that we can learn what to do and what not to do from everyone. Oftentimes people are too critical of others when they should be most critical of themselves. I see it all the time. Someone will find a new mentor, and that mentor will say one thing that the person doesn't like, so they stop listening altogether. That's not a smart way of looking at things. The smarter way would be to understand there is no perfect human being. If someone does something you don't like, just don't do it. If you want to make more money and you don't want to listen to someone who's made $1 million because they have a poor marriage, you're being foolish. Here's an idea for that scenario. How about you only take advice on money from them and not love advice? Now let's talk about John D. Rockefeller. If you don't know who he is, the money he made almost 100 years ago would make him the richest man in the world in today's time. Now, Rockefeller is a very controversial man in my opinion. Let's examine some of his quotes. You can learn a lot about a man based on quotes he's been documented of repeating. Let's start out with a quote I support fully. If you want to succeed, you should strike out on new paths, rather than travel the worn paths of accepted success. I really like this quote. Accepted paths of success is highly overrated. The only thing that stays constant is successful thinking. New ways of making money always comes about, and old ways are usually overly used and worn out. Like how 20 years ago anyone with a college degree could get a job instantly, and today even with a degree people struggle finding work. Now let's dive into a quote from Rockefeller I highly disagree with. I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers. The problem with the lack of thinkers is a lack of improvement. As a worker, your job is to do what you're told and that's it. But as a thinker, your job is to find the negatives and create more positives. The quote alone shows a selfish way of thinking. If I wanted to make more money than anyone, I would have to focus on two things: obtaining more workers to build my wealth and eliminating competition. A thinking man is a rich man's biggest threat. The more thinkers we have, the more competition is created. But good competition. Competition that benefits the people. If someone with evil intentions has no one to compete with, his way will be influenced amongst a massive amount of people. But more thinkers means more good intentioned people competing to expose the evil intent people. Whenever there is more of something, there is more competition. So if there are more workers, that's where the most competition is. But why should there be competition between workers? A working man is a respected one who works to put food on the plate of him and his families. Shouldn't there be more competition among big companies? With great power comes great responsibility. So the people who have all the power and responsibility have no competition. Whatever they say goes, basically. But they already have power. They should have to compete to keep deserving that power. Competition is good only when it benefits the mass of people. That's why everyone loves sports. It benefits us all as entertainment. But when people are competing against each other just to feed their own family, who does that benefit? You guessed it, the big companies. So while we're fighting for scraps, we're helping the rich get richer. Get out of the worker's mindset. Become a thinker. You can still work hard and improve your thinking. People act as if you have to choose one or the other. That's simply not true. Working hard is essential for success, but if you don't know how to think, how can you succeed the way you believe is best for everyone? The best way to improve your thinking? Read more, listen more. Abraham Lincoln was a believer that you can learn from anyone, whether it's what to do or what not to do. That's a great quality to have. But in order to practice that belief, you must listen before you speak. We were given 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Too many people have opinions based on their own knowledge. Be someone who develops opinions through extensive research. To your independence, Mark. P.S. Quote of the day I created. A thinking man is a rich man's biggest threat. P.P.S. Quote of the day I learned. We were given 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.